Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Keller Williams Realty Technologies presentation of Winterize Your Business. This is our Spotlight on Technology series. We're so excited to have you all with us today. And the lessons that have been previously in the Spotlight for Technology series were created from the activities that could be found on the eEdge Database Quick Start Guide workshop. The workshop can actually be found on KW Connect. Now, as your database of leads grows, automatic email campaigns are a great way to systematize some of your communications and stay in touch in a meaningful way. We want to teach you all how to improve the chances that your emails will be opened by customizing some of these campaigns, and they're going to match specific preferences of your recipients. Okay, let's get started. So here is what is on our agenda today. We are going to talk about the, well, let me back up real quick. In the past few weeks, when I mentioned about the Spotlight on Technology series, we've been talking about completing your eEdge account information, which makes sure your agents have preferred branding in their contact information. You've enabled some email as some activity alerts. That means an agent can receive a lead alert on a mobile device. We also showed you how to add, organize, and organize and import your contacts, qualify them, and then move them into groups for target marketing, and how to launch a marketing campaign. Now, we want to talk about how to reconnect with those clients whom you've not stayed in contact with, or maybe you had never followed or completed the lessons that we've taught you, because that means that you have lost touch of your database. Today, we're going to help you all understand how to reconnect with that database. The winter holiday season is a great time to reconnect with these clients and get them back into business with you. So what better time for you to reconnect than of those clients that you've forgotten about than the holidays. So let's talk about the story of the forgotten client. And if you're on this call, this story may be familiar to you. This story is actually very familiar to many agents. Please, let's be, if you are on the call, let me know if this story sounds familiar to you. Annie agent helped Joe client and his family find their dream home, and Annie was a true professional in every way. In fact, Annie really loved helping this family, and she really enjoyed their company. Now, unfortunately, while Annie's business has increased, she's kind of forgotten about those past clients, and she's not contacted them, many of them, for a while, and that includes Joe client. So our question is, what can Annie do now? What would you be able to do now to gain Joe and her past clients' business once again? And I'd like for you guys to send me some answers and what you all think you could do. One of the things Annie could do is get strategic. And she can get strategic with a touch campaign. That would be her best option. A touch campaign is a message, it's a conversation, it's a meeting that conveys timely, relevant, and valuable information. Now, you have a selection of editable campaigns to choose from directly out of eEdge My Marketing, which we're going to show you here in just a moment. Before we do that, I want to get started getting strategic by following the model. This is directly out of Millionaire Real Estate Agent. From MREA, this is the strategic model for generating leads and building relationships. Now, if you look at the graphic, it looks like a target. Now, it's illustrating that your goal is to move the contacts in your database from those that you've never met, those could be contacts in your area that you're farming, to the bullseye in the center. You want to bring everybody from that general public haven't met, target group haven't met, into the center as closely as you can. The allied resources, as you say, that are in the very middle, those are people that are in the business. Those are people who know you, trust you, and they are most likely going to bring you business. Now, in this lesson, we want to show you how to reconnect with everyone in your database so that you can move them back into that inner core so that you can cash into bigger business. And when I say move back into that inner core, we'll explain what that means. So if you look at this model, you have your haven't mets, that's your general public. If you think about it, that's basically everyone in the world that you don't know. Your haven't mets are target, haven't mets target group are groups such as a farm. This is a group of people that you know, you just haven't actually met. A Mets group is just that. These are people that you've met and are most likely in your database. and allied resources of those who are in the business, and close acquaintances that you know that, again, will most likely bring you business. So we want to bring everybody into that core. Now, if you have forgotten about your business, they've basically now become a blend of your haven't met's target group and your Mets. In fact, they're kind of bleeding outward, not inward like we want. And that's because even though you've met them, putting them on an 8x8 and a 33 touch right now may not be as effective as it normally would be, since you've waited so long. As you can see in this model, your haven't met's target group would typically be placed on a 12 direct campaign. Then once they move into the Mets group, or if you have just met them, they would be added to an 8x8 and then a 33 touch. And this is direct from blog.kw.com. In recent reviews with more than 200 real estate agents, sales business earning at least $1 million in GCI. So those are 200 real estate agents earning at least $1 million in GCI. It was discovered that 90% of their business came from as few as 5 sources, with repeat and referral business consistently on the top 3. According to co-author of MREA2, Jay Papasan, also MREA, if you want big business, repeat and referral is going to be the pillar of it. So my question is, are you doing everything you can to capture repeat and referral business? Chances are there's more opportunity than you realize. So if you look at the graphics, 71% National Association of Realtors annual profile of home buyers and sellers asked 71% asked buyers that had just completed a transaction if they would use the same real estate agent. 71% said they would. Now, the reality is, in actuality, the reality is that only 17% actually did use the real estate agent. That means that agents are leaving 54% of potential business right there on the table. This is a huge opportunity to bridge the gap and capture that 54% of potential business that we may be losing. In the upcoming edition of Millionaire Real Estate Agent, MREA2, the 33 touch is now reimagined to a 36 to convert. And here's the touches. You have 4 telephone calls each year. Your telephone calls can have immediate impact on your business. We know that. Gary says lead generate on the phone at least 3 hours a day. If you do only one activity, this would be the one to do. You can also have you also want to include 2 events each year. This could be a movie night, a social gathering somewhere. All 4 calls can be wrapped around 2 events if you think about it. So call them to invite them to the event, then call them and thank them for coming, saying you missed them, surprised that that they would actually be surprised that you realized that they weren't there, and so forth. Then we have 26 bi-weekly emails. We're going to keep the conversation going. We're going to stay on top of mind with bi-weekly emails to our database. An example would be create newsletters with relevant industry and neighborhood information. We're going to talk about some holiday, some winterizing ideas, and I'm going to get some ideas from you. In fact, Sherry said one way that she is going to reconnect with her database, and maybe already is she drops by with a good Christmas dessert recipe. Do a drop by. Notice she didn't say she's going to just email them. That would also be a good email, but she's actually going to visit in person. I love that. Thank you, Sherry. The 26 emails are going to keep that conversation going and just keep you top of mind. And then last is 4 promotional direct ideas. So we want you to think about sending a creative promotional item with a relevant message that encourages interaction. Now, it can also just be a promoting an event as well. So what we have to do now, let's go back to our story with Annie Agent. Annie's going to have to create a set of groups that are going to help her to identify these forgotten clients. So here's some suggestions. You use whatever works for your business. So one of the ways that she's going to start reconnection of her database is to create a set of groups that she can put her reconnect contacts into. If it's been all of her contacts, then she's going to have to get very busy. But there might be a specific group of contacts that she hasn't done a very good job of keeping in touch with. And she can create groups, haven't contacted over 1 year, haven't contacted over 6 months, over 3 months, or 3 months or less. You decide on the time, but don't make it too small or too wide. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring in the live environment. We're going to do most of this in the live environment so that we can help you all understand the actual process of this. We also have this available in our PowerPoint. So you all should see the screen at this time. Okay, so we're going to create a group. The first thing we're going to do is create our groups. So we are going to click on View Contacts. When we click on View Contacts, that's going to take us into the My Contacts in MyKW. Now that we're in My Contacts, we can hover over Contacts and click on Manage Groups. All right, now that we're on Manage Groups, we can create our group name, which we're going to paste here, and now we can save the name of the group. Okay, now that we've saved the name of the group name will show up here on the bottom. Now that we have our contacts identified, we can start to put our plan together. So while we're on this page, we can hover over Create Marketing, then click on My Campaigns. We're in My Campaigns, and since we're going to adjust a current campaign, a current 33 touch, we're going to click on Create New Campaign here in the right-hand side. If you notice on the left, we could scroll down and find a 33 touch. However, if we click on All Types, choose Date Campaign, then you'll notice the 33 touches come up at the very first opportunity. You can decide on which one of these you choose, and in fact, you can do this process with any of the touches. It just depends on your process. So we're going to go ahead and click on Choose this template. Now we're going to start to customize this 33 touch. Since we're not using the traditional 33 touch, we're going to make some adjustments, and this is where customizing the individual pieces comes into place. So since the 36 touch consists of the actions, the 4 telephone calls, 2 events, 26 biweekly emails, and 4 promotional direct, then since it consists of those pieces, then we can go ahead and use a couple of them. So what we're going to do is we are going to leave this email piece. You notice it says email HTML optimized, and this activity, and we're going to delete the rest. Okay, so I will be deleting the rest of these quickly and effectively and efficiently to where I am only left with 2 pieces, an email and an activity, and I'll tell you why we're doing that here in just a moment. You'll notice you just click on the X, confirm deletion of the pieces. That's how customizable these pieces are. Now we're left with just 2 pieces. That is an email and an activity. Now we can start to modify and customize this campaign even more. So with the current activity that we have not removed, this one, we're going to use this drop-down menu, and we're going to click Phone Call. Okay, we're going to make this a phone call. Then we're going to set the date. What we're going to do is we're going to set the date for Wednesday the 30th. We're going to get going on this right now. We want to start reconnecting today. So we're going to change the date. Then we're going to add a script. And we're going to say, and through this script here, once we get the opportunity to edit this script, we can say anything we want to the holidays. And you just continue on that conversation. This is the phone call that you're going to make, okay? So what better time and what better message to send than wintertime or the holiday season to wish them happy holidays. Okay, I click Save and Continue, and I didn't necessarily have to, but when I click Save and Continue, it will probably take me to the next step, and then I can go back to step 2 because I have some additional things to do. Okay, now we can add the additional steps. Okay, so we want to now add the additional 3 phone calls. So what we'll do is we'll click Add Step, hit the drop-down menu to an activity, click Add Step, make this activity a phone call, set our date, which is going to be in a couple of months. Maybe, how about January 2nd to wish them a Happy New Year? We could save and continue, or we could add a step, add an activity, and that activity would also be a phone call. So on and so forth. So we're going to add those 3 steps or those 3 phone calls. So we just repeat that process. Now we can create our 2 events a year. And again, we can do this by clicking Add Step, choosing Activity, and then adding that activity. I guess you do have to, I didn't think you needed to save and continue every time you added a step. I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's right. No subject. Very good. So here is our activity. We're going to make a call. The system is telling us what we are doing wrong. So we'll fill that up. We'll fill in our script, and then we will save and continue. Add a step. Now we want to add our 2 events a year. We're going to add an activity. We're going to go back to my marketing. One moment. Let me get back to where we were. Okay, that's the risk of going live. I appreciate. Sorry about that, but I'm going to come back to the screenshot. So we're going to create 2 events a year. Again, we can do this by modifying another activity by clicking Add Step. Use the drop-down menu once again. Choose Task from the drop-down menu, as I have here, and repeat this process until you have a total of 2 tasks. Of course, you're going to adjust the dates for those tasks to 2 times a year and write or plan out your events. So this task, this event, isn't it a great time for a holiday party for all of your past clients? That would be something that could be the task, or actually the event, if you will. Now you can create your 26 bi-weekly emails each week, and this is the one that's going to take the most work, but it's important to remember that you don't have to do it all the time. You just have to do this once or twice with 2 different campaigns. But once you have this campaign set up, you can start sending it out. Naturally, if it has timely information in it, you want to be careful about the time that you are replying or responding. The system will pretty much cover you on that. So be very aware of be very aware of the fact that you only have to do this a couple times and just get the work done one time. It'll be worth it to you. So now we're going to start modifying this email template that we have in Review and Configure Steps by clicking on Personalize. After you click Personalize, you can make any changes that you want to the email templates by using the email editor. Once you've made your changes, once you've created your piece, customized your piece, then you'll be able to save it at the bottom of the page. Now you want to repeat this process until you have a total of 26 emails, and adjust the dates to each of these emails, as you can see, to bi-weekly. So examples are a tip on holiday safety, or even decorating tips is a great message to reconnect with your database. Now you can create your 4 promotional events, and you can do this by modifying another activity. You're going to start by clicking Add Step, use the drop-down menu, choose Task under Activity, or in Activity, add the date and the details about the event, and then repeat this process until you have a total of 4 tasks with event information in them. So this is your promotional events. This is a great time to promote that local holiday fair or even that school event on social media. And this is a perfect example of Sherry's drop by. Sherry has a dessert recipe. You could do a social media dessert recipe post, something like that, something that comes from contribution. Okay, your contacts are in groups. Your campaign has 36 touches complete with activities, phone call scripts, and customized email. Now it's time to start the retouch campaign. To add your contacts to the campaign, you're going to go to step 3, which is add remove contacts. When you go to add remove contacts, it will look like this. You're going to select your group from the drop-down menu as I have shown here, and then choose your group. In this example, it's haven't contacted 6 months. You could add additional groups if you choose or if you need to. Once you click add all eligible contacts, all of these contacts that are on the left will be moved to the right. Once you'll then save and continue and take it back to this screen. On this screen, step 4 is where we will review and activate the campaign. We must click the radio box that says I have reviewed this campaign and its recipients, so on and so forth. This is telling Google, Yahoo, all search engines that we have not purchased this list, that this is a list of people who have opted in. That means they are actually Mets of ours. Once you hit Save Campaign, you can start connecting with your database. So if you hit Save Campaign and you have a task set up for tomorrow, that task will come up. If you have an email set out to go tomorrow, that email will go out. So please be sure you have double-checked all of your work on the campaign. Okay, now you have identified your forgotten clients, and you're ready to get strategic and start your plan when you're ready. So let's take a moment and figure out who our forgotten clients are. Take a moment and jot those down, and then get strategic. Read MREA 2. Then you know now how to start your plan, and you know now when to send out the campaign. A great time to send out the campaign is right now. No better time than the present. All right, what are your questions? What are your ahas? We'd love to hear from it. What did you guys think about today's presentation? I'd love to know that just in general. Is this something that you can do, you can use, and you can reconnect with your database? If you're looking for a recorded version of this, you're going to be able to find it on KW Connect, and I'm going to show you guys exactly where that can be found. And I'm going to KW Connect. MREA 2 is not out at this time. We don't have an exact date. Maybe I can get some help on the exact date. Okay, so we are in KW Connect. You'll see KW Connect, isn't that great? We're going to hover over resources. That should come up here in just a moment. I'm going to drop down to technology. So if you're looking for a specific piece, you can hit the search mechanism here. The Spotlight on Technology series is a series that's available in here. You would definitely be able to find it under Winterize. That's what we will be placing it under. See if I can find some Spotlight. Yep, so these are all Spotlight on KW Technology webinar series. So you could just simply do that or type in Winterize.